We're going live. Let's play the music and let's.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
Excellent. Welcome. This is the beauty of live stream. Michelle's here. That's the important thing. If
Yay.
Michelle's here, we're fine. How you doing, Michelle? I'm glad you're here. Of course, I want Michelle to come in the studio. I did say to her, please come in the studio. If you got something to say, Michelle, then do come along. Anyone else is invited to come to our studio. Welcome to the professional immigrant journey. The journey of the professional immigrant is what we call this room, right? This was not a room, but it's now a LinkedIn live event. Let me stop talking. Sandra is a host, so Sandra, how you doing, Sandra?
Hi, Annie. It's exciting to be doing this new thing. I know we have this room before in the audio events, but this is new to us, so it's exciting and feel like that we're the pioneers here. I don't know who else has done it, but it feels great. It's good to try new things.
Look, Michael's here. I said Michelle's here. There'll be more people that we can't see. So if you're here, please drop us a comment, and then I can see you. Michelle, I'm just sending you the StreamYard link right now to your WhatsApp. So hopefully, you join us, right? Look, it's
Where do you see the people? Any?
where are the people?
Yeah, I don't see.
Okay, can you see the comments?
Okay, I know. I don't see it. Oh, okay. I switched to that.
Right hand side of the screen is a comments thing. That's a comments feed, right?
Oh, I love it.
That's where most people would talk to us.
Okay.
And since, that's where. But then said those who want to come on stage, I will bring. I'll share the link. I'll just share the StreamYard link again. If you want to come and talk with us, please feel free. Click on the link, enter the studio, and I'll bring you up on stage, and you can come and talk to us. You don't need to have your camera on. You don't. You just need to just be willing to share whatever your thoughts are.
Yeah. I want to say hi, Michelle and Michael. It's the two people I see. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, thank you for being here. This is something new and exciting.
Yeah, well,
I know Michelle is so used to do it.
Lois is coming as well, so we'll if my friends are here, I'm happy. So Lois is going to join us. I'm clicking to see what it looks like on LinkedIn. Yeah, we're live on LinkedIn. Yeah, we're live. That's good. Okay, superb. Yeah, I can see us. Excellent. Everything's going well. Everything. You see, it doesn't kill. It's not going to hurt any of us, right? It's just getting comfortable, and maybe we have to do our hair and makeup. Like I have to do my hair and makeup.
Do your hair.
I have to wear shirts. I have to wear a shirt. I've never worn some of these shirts in a week, Sandra. I've got used to wearing t-shirts. I live in my t-shirts, right, all day. I'm all right t-shirts. But for these events, I've chosen to wear shirts, and I say in this week alone, I've worn so many different shirts. My wife's going to kill me. She's like, why are you wearing so many shirts? You have to keep washing them. But that's life. That's the life we live. I don't know. Has your video uploaded? Give me a couple another 20 seconds. Your video will upload in full, and then
this is a very nice video. Let's play it when we wait for more people to join us.
Yeah. This is a wonderful platform. I like it. I truly like it. I like the fact that there's so many benefits. The benefits, I say, recording. Having recording is a benefit. Who's just joined? I just heard a noise. Someone's joined us. Okay. Should I bring Michelle on stage? Do you want to hear from her now, or should we wait?
Let's welcome. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah. Yay, Michelle.
Michelle.
Hi.
I know you are so used to do video events like this, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you for
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. And I don't even know, like Annie, like we are like the Rebel with the Cause sisters. So
yeah, amazing.
how are you?
So Eddie disappeared, but let's play the video. Then we are already a minute 12. So let's just get it started. Because I think that video lasts 7 minutes, Eddie. We don't hear you, Annie.
The video is processing, so give me a couple more seconds for the video to process, then I can play it. Michelle, welcome. How are you doing? How's your day going?
It's going. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. It's been a day. So we are getting hit with a Arctic storm right now. And last night was so surreal because that was the first time, I'm 40. I've never in my life seen a blizzard with lightning and thunder happening. And apparently it was like some storm surge that's very, very rare. And it was really crazy at like 1 o'clock this morning.
Sounds really, crazy.
Are you safe? I mean, is everyone safe? Or
yeah, I mean, it's cold. The temperatures are dropping. They're calling for a lot more snow tonight. So it's kind of just waiting it out and see. But if you're from Ohio, you're used to this. You could get like all 4 seasons in one day.
Wow.
That's a quick question. What's your immigrant journey? I was looking at one of your things yesterday, Michelle. Right? I think you sent me a proposal. Remember you sent me a proposal a while ago? Mm-hmm. Your campaign that starts in February?
Correct.
So well,
it's like, so the plan is for the end of 2025 is the first event, with the second one a couple months later in February 2026. It's definitely, I think it's a very inspirational and amazing global inclusion project that I'm going to take on. But again, it's global inclusion, so it's a lot of detail, it's a lot of nitty gritty. But for me, I don't have the family bonds to know my ancestry or the deep roots of the genealogy behind it. And for me, I do know that I'm Hispanic, I'm Puerto Rican, but outside of that, I don't really know anything. I was never raised with extended family, and then the immediate family wasn't, the greatest. So actually recently I just did the 23andMe ancestry genealogy because I crave to know the roots of it, because I feel when you want to change the world and you want to make things better going forward, you have to understand what's behind you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zara said hello, so I'm glad you're here, Zara. And let me see what Michael's saying. Okay, now I'm ready to play the video now. So I've got StreamYard app to say. How do I find you on there? Now, Michael, I send you the link. You can't find people on StreamYard. You have to. I send the link to your WhatsApp. I mean, I'm going to post it in the comments. It's easier to just click on the link in the comments and then join us, right? I don't know what I've just done. Right. Okay. So while I do that, let me play the video that you wanted to play, Sandra, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
And then we can start talking. Okay. Here it goes.
We give up so much, in our own country to come here.
How did we end up in America? That's hard.
You gotta be strong, you gotta fight, you gotta love.
I think you grow the most when you uproot and you come to a new place.
When real struggles are thrown at us, they always make you grow because you learn from it.
I'm not afraid to fall. It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up.
secrets glow. And you know, and we know, we got seats too. So
we don't have much, and when we come here, even the little things is, it's everything to us.
Moving from country to country forces you to grow. Forces you to grow as a person, meeting new people, finding new ways to live in the world, being part of new cultures.
every tone has a dance to move between your waking bones. Care to go, care to grow. We've got plenty of seats to sow.
He saw that my leg was really bad and I needed a new leg, so that's really how I ended up here. My main goal is to become a human rights lawyer. We are just like them. They should not discriminate us, or they should not hunt us.
Where do we go from here? Just longing for that pot of gold. Where do we go from here? To fall, pick up the hope, catching us by force. Where do we go from here? What we want to enjoy the ride. Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? Forward.
I want to be a superhero.
I don't know, somewhere beautiful.
We go on.
I just want to go free.
A better life, happiness.
We showed them that laughter is the key to happiness.
If you allow yourself to be taken by the wind, you're free.
I also just want to help people.
I want to have a better future for my family, especially for my kids.
Achieve my full potential.
Every lesson you've learned, keep it with you, hold in your heart.
Towards connection.
I think we go from here to get peace.
From here, we're going to go up there. We're going to go up there. What's up there? I don't know. But I want to know.
¿Ahora dónde vamos? ¿Al panteón? Pues ni modo, aunque no quiera.
Don't feel like my homeland is a very small place. I feel like my homeland is a big place. In fact, it's the whole world.
Words so powerful.
We are one.
My pot of gold is my kids, my family. That's the gold rush.
Where do we go from here?
I got a Congressional Medal of Honor from the United States Marine Corps, and I got a Purple Heart down in Desert Storm.
Mis hijas y mis hijos. Fue muy importante para mí.
You almost got a little tears in your eyes for a second.
Awesome.
That was beautiful.
I know. Yeah, Annie actually asked me this morning, do you have a video to play? And I was thinking that will be nice. And I start trying to find something that resonates with the topic. And then I find this video, and I thought that was really a special video because of today's topic, which is the courage of using your voice. That resonates really with the journey of professional immigrants. And I was reading about the video. I haven't researched a lot about how it came to happen, this video, but it says that, we live in a world where there is so much division and fear around people from other cultures and ways of life, that they wanted to put this video together, create a project that will bring people together and that will show how much we all share the same humanity, love, heartbreak, and hope. And so they make this video, and I feel like it's perfect for for what we're doing today about sharing the stories of many professional immigrants in their journey to success, trying hard in a new land. And hello, welcome to the stage. And so yeah, I want to read more about this project, how it came to happen, this video, but I think it's really inspirational. I really love it when I discovered it. Thank you, Michelle.
It actually, I had a question about, like, it really, like, while I was watching it, I was wondering, like, what would, like, well, there's two questions. The first one would be, like, what challenges do you think that the immigrants, they face that, I guess, aren't discussed often, to maybe provide the awareness or some resources so that us as an outside individual, how can we be supportive? How can we, be contributing in a positive manner to the transition, versus all that cultural stigma that can face it with status quos and things. But then I also was like, it was really like, just like kind of making me curious, like, how do you think like that the second and the third generationals, with the immigration, like how do they keep that heritage alive when they've, never even been exposed to where their, ancestors or, previous would have come from?
Right. Yeah, those are really great questions, and it's a lot, for discussion on that. Today, I want to try to keep it to the one big problem that we have about using our voice, which really connects with all these things that you're saying. First generations had a lot of struggle, and then they have families here that also continue the struggle, and that sometimes kind of reject or hide their identity, especially at the workplace, just to blend in, to fit in, because the circumstances at work and the desire to to get high in corporate America. So there's a lot of going on that happen that make people think this is the way to go. But really embracing authenticity is a more powerful, more empowered way to go about being successful too. That we need to explore that. But thank you for those questions. I do want to say something, Michelle. You mentioned when we were talking before playing the video about the journey that you are in, about finding out where you come from. um, and it just reminded me this morning as I was searching for the video. I heard this quote that it's been in my mind since I read it, and it says, "You cannot really know where you are going until you know where you have been." And it's from Maya Angelou. And I thought it was a great quote. And it's the same with me, right? I really had to, I have been in a journey since I moved to the US in my immigrant journey, trying to succeed in other ways. But it's been really ironic that until I started embracing that my story is the story of, of an immigrant. Um, Instead, feeling uncomfortable with that fact, I started to embrace that's my truth, right? That's who I am. That's what I became once I decided to change my life and live in the US. So embracing that journey has been really transformative for me, and start discovering my own voice, a voice that was really small before I started this journey. Never
I
in
think
my
I have
life.
the unfair advantage of I got to read the chapter from Rebel with a Cause. So it's like that was like into you and just you as your authentic self. That was like, I think, the most amazing exposure just to get to learn you on that deep, intimate level.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that thank you to CJ too for inviting me to that project, and that's how it happens that I connect with you and with amazing people that is sharing their stories in this amazing project, and it really makes me came back to the idea of writing that I never knew how to start making happen, and now I am almost finished with my book. And I'm so excited. I think I delivered I delivered the news a little early in this show, but it was coming there. So anyway, so I'm excited for that. It's actually I wanted to share in this particular today in this room because is very related to the book topic, is related to the topic today, which is using your voice. So that's what my book is about. Is about unmuting myself, and really is finding my voice, and what was happening and why it was muted since childhood. So it is exciting. I want to share, but let's get started with the topic. Annie, if you have anybody else to welcome in the room, I give you a microphone to you. Back to you.
I always mute myself. Of course, and there's people here. I see Jay's comments. When we share our stories, and we do it to break down walls. Jay, come in the studio. Come in the studio and share with us. There's always people in this event, Sandra, who don't say anything, but onto their comment, we can't see them. Yeah, but I've got what I wanted. I got Zara and Michelle on stage. I'm happy. That's cheered me up. It means that we're actually interacting with people. Zara, anything you want to say now, or are you happy to wait for Sandra to do it?
I have to wait. And thank you so much, Annie, for sharing me the link. Thank you, son. Your story is for the rest of the world, and we are here just to boost you, to stay with you, and to be present in the present, right, Sandra? And we know each other for some time now. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Zara. It's really great that you're here. All right. Is Jay gonna come on stage, or let's continue with the topic?
Let's continue with the topic now. I say more people will join us, and then hopefully, more people will come on stage. And look, if you want to mute, if you want to turn your camera off, my friends, don't feel bad, right? Of course, if you want to keep them on or turn them back on, you do that, right?
But if we're going to turn off the camera and you guys are having camera on, that will not be fair,
I might turn mine off every so often. You never know, right? If I'm gonna make a cup of tea, I'll turn my camera. I'll probably leave it. We'll see what happens. Now, Sandra, the mic is yours. Then tell us what you're gonna
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Again, really excited about this topic today. In the professional, the journey of professional immigrant room. Our topic today is the courage to use your voice and thrive as a professional immigrant. For those that join later or just join, I'm Sandra Bothi, and a personal development coach and a master NLP and hypnotherapist practitioner. I recently switched careers and started this journey, which has brought me to really into this transformation. Wanted to help people that is struggling with the same things that I have overcoming. And so one of them is really the topic of today, right? It's about using our voice, because as an immigrant, when we arrive in an unfamiliar environment, we are very hesitant to speak our truth, and we stay silent. So that's the topic today. There is, the struggles are not the end. The struggles of us not using our voice is not the end of the story. They are the beginning of our journey. The journey of finding our voice, embracing our worth, and thriving in a world that sometimes feels, like I said, unfamiliar. And like I said before, speaking about journeys, I am launching my book, Unmuting Myself: A Voice Silenced by Doubt Rises to Inspire. Is going to be the title of this book that has been keeping me busy for the last months. But it's also a really exciting thing that and I don't mind, working hard at night, late hours at night. It's actually the time where I find that I go deeper in those memories and find really things that I want to share in this book. Is a nice story to motivate people that struggle with or haven't find their voice. And I want to share that story with many people that I know will resonate with this topic. Now, let's talk about why we're here. Have you ever find yourself in a meeting and your heart racing, waiting to share an idea, but holding back, right? Or maybe you have struggled to advocate for yourself, feeling like no one will understand or care. If that resonates with you, I want you to know that you're not alone. Many of us have felt this way, whether it's fear of rejection, cultural differences, or even navigating the language. But here is the truth. Your voice matters. Your voice and you matter. And today, we're here to empower your voice and to overcome those barriers, to step fully into courage, and to take us just not just to survive, but to thrive in our lives. Because there is something that I always have been in my mind since I started this journey. Many of the stories of in the journey of immigrants, is really a struggle. And the ironic thing is that we left the struggle at home to pursue a better life. But then we encounter these gigantic challenges in this land to achieve that success that we give everything to find, success, happiness, and find these gigantic challenges that we need to overcome. So when I think about that, and what is the problem then from this amazing force of nature that is the immigrant people who comes to other countries and really sacrifice so much. They clearly have a lot of resilience, a lot of strength, a lot of value. So why are we always afraid, right? If we have such a power to take such a step, what is stopping us to get where we want to get? And that's when we come to realize that I know there are many things happening and in the system, but it is also about a mindset that we have. And it's not just blaming the system. The system, yeah, I'm not going to hide with a big fact that is there, but it's also true that our mindsets come from our backgrounds, and they're not helping us to get where we need to get. So I want to ask a question to the audience before we move on in the topic. Before we dive in more, I like to ask, what is one word that describes how you feel about using your voice in your professional settings? Especially when you struggle using your voice. What is that word that describes that feeling you have? I love, that people share in the chats how that make you feel when you think about speaking up about using your voice. For me,
So I happily share with you. See, there's many secrets that people don't know, I guess. See, for years I didn't speak. I didn't speak in public. I didn't speak. I'm the one that you mentioned just now, the one that sat in meetings, dying to speak, but I never spoke. I still do it. Sometimes I do it now. Whereas if everyone's talking, I won't say anything. I can't shout my way into a conversation. I don't know whether it's a cultural thing because I grew up in Nigeria. I don't know whether it's and black thing, and they all know more than but it comes back to the same thing you talked about earlier, Sandra. It's a mindset thing. When you see me now, you won't believe that for years I did not speak in public. Talking in a meeting used to kill me. At least I'd have to get all my energy and psych myself up and say something. But most of the time, I just sit there and let them all talk. Unless someone says, "Any, what do you think?" I would not say a word. In public like this talking, I would not. I would never do it. See, as my youth was spent in this country, in the UK, you can go through school, go through high school, go through uni. I got a degree and a master's. I went to 2 unis. I worked for 15 years. I never spoke in public once. I never had to. I hid behind my clients, the kids I was working with. I was an advocate for kids. So my thing was to train the kids to speak. And I'm the engine behind them saying, here's the rules, here's the laws, here's where they're going wrong. I'm going to sue them. But you must speak up and tell them what the problem is. Maybe part of it was my belief that the clients had more power than I did. Kids who can raise their own issues have more voice than I do because the system has to listen to the kids. Michelle, you must know what I mean. If a kid says I need, the system goes, we hear. If any says the kid needs, they're like, who do you know? Shut up. But my thing is to prod the kids and say, right, you have rights, you have entitlements. You must. Here's what they are. So go tell them, and then when it goes wrong, I write a letter. I never spoke. I never had to speak. It's a weird thing, right? But I had to pay for £10,000 for a mindset course to get myself to where I am today. Not many know that. That's the truth, though. A couple of years ago, onto LinkedIn Audio, I did not speak in public. Never did. Never would. I spent months on Clubhouse, the other audio platform.
Mm-hmm.
Myself was I would never speak, and I didn't speak. I just sat there quietly. Only when I came to LinkedIn, I said hello, and it's like, oh no, I have to carry on talking. Ever since, I've talked and talked and talked, like I'm doing now. So it's a weird thing, right? That's my share. If anyone's got any thoughts they want to come and share with us, if Zara and Michelle, if you want to say anything, please feel free.
I think Zara wants to.
Yeah,
and then I'll
Zara,
go after.
On mute, Zara. On mute first. You're muted. Okay, I don't know what that looks like. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Annie, I was the same introvert and being like not a good public speaker, afraid of the camera and everything. But LinkedIn really helped me out. Uh, yeah, I mean, especially the coaches here, mentors here, especially you people, when I come up and when I show up in these rooms, that really helps me out to show, to connect with everybody here. And now the feelings have changed because, especially on the background, there was a lady who was working on with me on the WhatsApp to build that confidence in me, to show up every day, to plan my whole day around, to to uh, to show up, actually to go out, because of my veteran background, my father's veteran background. We were there in Karachi, and we were not allowed to make some friends or do social and stay connected in just within the family. And plus, now when we are back to our heritage, uh, we moved from Karachi to Lahore, and because of just some good mentors here on coaches here and on the LinkedIn, they helped me really out to show up, to do something, to come on the camera. It's okay, you can do this. So again, thank you, Sandra. You guys are like the champions here.
And now that we have here Linton asking us to, well, I know that we have the choice to not be in camera, but it's good that we tried this because it's one step, right, that make us grow. I mean, it's beautiful to see the faces of people and hear their voices. And when you both were sharing, Annie and Sarah, about coaches, I totally agree 100%. It's the same story with me. If it wasn't for finding the right coach and listening to them, I wouldn't really be transformed and be today in this room. So thank you to those coaches. We have Annie here, helping and putting people on the spotlight, because he invests in himself and really overcome that problem, right? We have many people here in LinkedIn had amazing gifts. And I know because some of them at times they share in these rooms that they have the same issue about showing themselves in camera or speaking in the rooms, going on the stage. Many times I see many people, in the rooms, and always the same ones are speaking, and that's fine, right? It's different for everyone, but I encourage the people who love those rooms to raise your hand to go on stage. And it can feel, I speak for my own experience, it can feel nerve-wracking at the beginning, if you don't make sense with what you are saying. especially when English is your second language and you have little time to share whatever it is that you want to share. So you have a lot of pressure on yourself to even make sense in that little time that you have to make sense of whatever it is the share that you want to put out there. So, but yeah, I totally agree with you both. Investing in yourself is a big step in your transformation. So, and it's not about selling to anybody, but it's the truth. I did it on my own for so long with books, with a lot of tools that you find. And it wasn't until I worked with somebody one-on-one that it makes a difference for me. And I'm so happy for that. So thank you for bringing that topic. It was very important to say here. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the silent struggle. Okay, go
One
ahead.
second. Let me welcome Dr. Islam's here. Welcome. So of course, it's we're talking about his New Year's musical. It's a full musical. Music, story, and snowflakes and fairies and all that sort of stuff. Well, Emma's the character in this book, right? So did I say connect with him and find out about the book for sure. It's worth listening to. And I suppose we're doing a room, Dr. Islam night tomorrow, where we want to talk with people about the 2024 transformation. So we call it 2024 in review. So literally, let's come and share. Let's come on. I guess, and I think we've all evolved. We've all grown in this year, right? Let's come and share those stories that to inspire others behind us. And so that's the aim. Of course, if we've got a big enough group, then I'd love to take us who want to share our stories into maybe a Zoom meeting where we can talk more about. Do we write a book? Do we write an anthology? Would you share our stories in a book that we can actually, inspire more people with? That's one of my thoughts. Alexis is here as well. It's an amazing publisher, probably the best editor we're ever going to meet. I mean that sincerely. I know Alexis is great at book writing and publishing and editing. So, and of course, Chris is here as well. Chris has to go in an hour. Yeah, Chris, we're not going to be much longer than an hour, I don't think. But I'm glad you're all here. If any of you want to come on stage, please feel free. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me stop talking. Michelle, what's your take on the finding your voice bits that Sandra talked about?
Oh man, I was like so excited to get a chance. So like I know you're on the professional and I can only talk from personal, but I think I was like maybe on the opposite end of the spectrum. So like growing up, there were incidents to basically where my voice was just silenced for me. So I grew up used to just not being heard, used to being overlooked, used to not being asked how I feel, that I was used to that. So for me, that silence and like finding the voice, I knew that the message I needed to share and the words that needed to be said, I knew that, well, first of all, I would be the only one that can deliver this message I need to, but I knew it needed to be said, period. So where I struggled was the ability of articulating what my thoughts were in my mind and what I'm wanting to scream from the rooftops, and I'm not being heard because of my delivery. It wasn't what I was saying, it was how was I saying it. And for me, that was the silent struggle, was that battle in my own mental of trying to find out how to articulate what needed to be said in the right manner for the people that need to get the message, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally relate to that. And in my case, it was a similar situation at home, right? As I remember, my father was very quiet, like, and there was something about him. He wouldn't express feelings or speak words of love because he just didn't know how to do it. I guess it was the same for him in his childhood. So he never knew how to say I love you or give you an endearing name. Nothing like that. And I grew up like that, unexpressive, like with words. I just didn't know how to do it. And along with that, other things like how I grew up was that kids are not to be heard,
They're
like
only seen. Yeah.
only seen, right? I do remember very vividly how you couldn't get into a conversation when your parents were talking to other people. And I know that's part of our rule for the kids, to be respectful. But the way that you were silenced is what I mean. The way that your parents will tell you not to talk, this is adults, and they wouldn't do it in a gentle way, like, you know, for example, okay, sweetie, I know what you want to share. It's very important, and I want to hear you. This is not the right setup or moment, but we can talk about that.
It was always, for me, it was the
typical.
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the way it was, because in my case, I have a 10 years old, and that's the way it goes. Like he can speak, right? There is respect for him, and he is not really like a kid. He's a person, and if he has something to say with respect, also we have to tell him, okay, sweetie, this is not the right moment, but we can talk about that. And it's funny because it's not the way that it was with many people, many. So anyway, going to thank you, Michelle, for bringing that up. Going back to the like I was saying, the silent struggle. I asked the same question. No, who has ever felt the urge to speak and to share an idea, or even set a boundary, but stop yourself from doing it? Couldn't articulate that. Maybe it's fear of rejection, maybe it's worry about conflict, or feelings outside of place in a new culture, like the case of many professional immigrants that have struggled using their voice. Um, for professional immigrants, these moments can feel like being in a room being in a room full of people, but feeling invisible. Because the truth is that when we don't use our voice, people don't get to know us, and we may have been in a room but didn't make any impact, and people barely remember us because we couldn't overcome and just face that fear and share and say something. Um, and the sad thing is that sometimes we do have things in our head, ideas but we don't put them out there. We self-judge whether the idea is good or not to be worthy of mention it. And we just don't share that idea. My inner dialogue screamed, why did they don't understand me? That was the story for me. What if I sound ridiculous? And then I stay silent. I didn't share. And so perhaps it's the same for many people. It feels like a tightness in your chest, a racing in your mind, and an overwhelming weight of what ifs. Before, like Michelle was sharing, he was worried about being able to articulate. And for me, it was like, I always, when I say something, I look at people's faces. And because it's a mindset thing too, I will look, and if they make the slightest face, I will think that whatever I was saying, it wasn't that valuable or important. because we have so much in our mindset and our unconscious, just that fear, that any any face that we see, we think is about us, is whether, whatever you're saying is just not relevant, and then we silence ourselves and decide not to share with people. But
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I'm American citizen. You're immigrant. So from an American citizen standpoint, and we're in our job, and we're in this, we're side by side with you. What are either questions I would be able to ask to make it more comfortable, or allow, that person to be vulnerable to begin sharing? Like, are there things that you found that helped you open up, or, actions or words, that others said to you that helped you to, like, allow yourself to start opening up?
Yeah, that's a great question, Michelle. I love that question, and I shared in other room. There is this guy from Japan. He helps Japanese with becoming more comfortable in English, and he gives a lot of tips which I have learned. He's teaching practically people in organizations how to both, no, the outsiders, the people from other cultures, and the people from, the English culture, the people who speak English. So he's trying to help both, giving tips for both. It's not just one part and the other. No, is and how can people really make the outsider in the different language feel comfortable, is by really, in a kind way, in a perhaps and smile, as can you repeat that? It's very interesting, and I want to understand what you're saying. It's just showing genuine interest in the person, and that encourage, to share more and to speak the next time. I feel like, asking questions, and it's funny that I say this, but in meetings I almost always wanted somebody to call me out, because it will be the only way that I will speak.
Okay.
And I had that kind of leaders that, I don't know, maybe they knew that I had some things, of value to share, and they will call me and they ask me, what I think, or do I have something to say? And when that leader see me, right, you feel like the leader is he see you, and he wants to hear what you have to say. That, and I kind of get kind of emotional with that, but for me was always, something that helped me.
I just want to tell you, like, thank you so much for that, because for me, like, what that helps me know is, like, I mean, obviously everybody within the organization should be provided the resources and the education on this, but, like, for what you just said, I think that, and anybody that's listening and they're in these executive positions, that to take away is that your executive teams and these upper leadership people that you have representing your organization, like, I feel that they need to be investing the funds for the training and the resources to ensure they're able to visually spot this and facilitate that safe zone to start doing that. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
If I can add to that, I think I resonate with Michael's thoughts that I put on screen, right? See, I didn't feel dumb when I didn't want to speak. Michael said it's the behavior of the big chief. It's felt by the people, not seen by them, and then he really speaks, right? Doesn't actually, he just sits in his palace, conducts a symphony. So for me, yes, I didn't feel I didn't know enough, right? I knew I was cleverer than most people in the rooms, because I was a manager. But I think, for me, this cultural thing, there's a cultural thing where I expect them to know what I haven't told them. Does that make sense? You expect them to know, because I'm me, I expect them suddenly now to know what I'm thinking and what sounds good to me or not, which is rather crazy, right?
Well, for me, I would rather confirm they know. So I believe
yeah,
nobody's crazy or any bad if they don't know. But it's
I
once
agree.
you know they know,
Mm.
that's where the
Yeah.
issue is.
Well, that's where your voice comes in. Without a voice, you don't know. You never raises issues. So in response to your question, Michelle. Here's what I would say. So no, I was a manager for years. I run a business now. What I'll say, I think it's a two-way street, right? The managers or the corporate side, the people that you work with, they have to be interested in what you have to say. Now we have to learn to give people that chance to say, Sandra, what do you think? What do you think? Then the good people did, and we will talk and say, here's what we think, right? But I think there's also a bit that we can do beforehand as professional immigrants. We can put our views forward. I got very good at writing my views down. So I write my views, give it to the manager before the meeting, and say, right, here's what I think. If you want to read it out, feel free to ask me about it. You do that. But at least they knew what it was. So we can, what's the word? We can seed the conversation even before the event. Sandra mentioned earlier that we can also request explanations from people and use that as a chance to asking questions means we can say something. Once we get the chance to add our view, then we can do. I agree with that. I don't agree with that. You may want something to explain to us. It's not the explanation. It's a conversation we're trying to get really. Trying to get a dialogue going. Just so that I'm not here and I don't care or I don't understand. It's more that I want to tell you what I think, but I need a separate space almost. If you see my events, my audio rooms, I don't like chaos. Because like I said to you, because I will never jump into a conversation because I still don't. That's why I like a strict order. I know who's going to speak when. And that's but it's a weird way to be, but it's how some immigrants are. It's a cultural thing from my side, if you ask me, right? And let me welcome Sam Hall is here. Welcome Sam Coral from across the pond. I'm in the same pond for you, Dan. That's the Atlantic, we'll call it, right? Welcome, Coral. So Belinda, thank you so much for joining us. My friends, you're seeing what this LinkedIn Live looks like. I know Coral knows what it looks like. Look, if you ever want to come on stage and share your thoughts or ask any question, please click on the StreamYard link. I'm going to share in the comments now. And come in the studio. You can turn your camera off if you want to. If you want to keep your camera on, then by all means, feel free, right? We welcome. So I want to make this room, this spaces, this live spaces, not just a one-word conversation. I want to make it a dialogue like we're having now. And I want us to do what we've been doing in audio rooms. Have a conversation. Not just present information to you and then you go away, right? Sandra, I'll give the mic back to you, my friend.
Thank you. I do love the question from Michelle, and thank you, Annie, for sharing. And yeah, like I was saying, those type of leaders that I have are the ones that I remember dearly, the ones who really show me that they see me by asking me what I think. Even, could be that you put in the spot, but we need a little push. When we are overcoming these challenges, we need sometimes a little push. And even in projects, right? The fact that I had in my career managers that put me in a project that was a reason to increase my confidence tremendously. But there were also in my career, I had to be honest, a few times where I wasn't given an opportunity being in the same team. And I felt that they wouldn't believe I could do that, whether it was a trip or something like that. They wouldn't send me, so that also didn't build my confidence. But the truth is that even when that happened and that didn't build my confidence, it was also helpful to tell me, I needed to change. I needed to do some work. So this, regardless of I had that opportunity, every experience that you have is there for a reason. Always, see the positives of that, what is, and the feelings that you have in front of that situation. The way that it feels is telling you, what you need to do to improve, to make that feeling better. And
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
So, okay, so like as as a CEO that's building the executive team, okay, we all know what the smoke and mirrors are when we're, hiring and things. So from your perspective, if I'm like, I like my executive team and we've been working and I know who they are, and what are characteristics or just, from an observant level, signs that you can while monitoring your employees, look for that may be either toxic or abusive or dismissive behaviors that I wouldn't know to look for if I didn't understand the situation, like how you were feeling. Does that make sense?
Yes. I think if I understand the question, what I want to say about that is that for managers and for leaders, it's always important to get to know the people closely, right? The way that they have, the employee have that feel confident that they can speak up and share more about what's going on. Uh, when you make time to have one-on-ones with your employees, and get them to know, there is an open channel to always be sharing with you what's going on. So I think it's the easiest way for managers and leaders to know what's happening. And it could sound like it's very impossible to do because everybody has lots of work, but it can save you a lot of time and make things work better, with the employees and what everybody's doing. So I think that it's not looking at that as there is no time for that. I have managers that every quarter, when they're very busy leaders, every quarter they were having a meeting with me. So always, talk to your employees and keep a close relation so that you always know what is affecting them. And that's the only way to know, what is going
So
on.
I think so for me, looking down on my executive team, making sure they're doing the one-on-ones and, I guess that's what I'm asking, looking down on my team that's your boss, how do I make sure your bosses are providing you the most safest and best workplace for, you to grow?
Yeah, well, it all goes back to the relation they have with their own, reports, right? The managers that report to you have that conversation that it's important that they're doing that work and taking care of the people, because at the end of the day, the people is who's doing really the work, the everyday work for clients. So it's important always those relationships to keep close. And I would say that even as much as you are not direct, people is not reporting directly to you, have an open door for those people
Oh
to
yeah,
talk to
absolutely. I
you.
think for me, I was more so searching for have you experienced anything as the immigrant specifically, right? That, it's that silent thing. It's that. It's what I would not notice, because it was specific to you. Do you understand any? I'm trying to articulate how it is in my mind.
I think Sandra's giving you the only answer there is, right?
It's just all comes to relationships with your people.
I agree. It's about making time to talk to people. That's what it comes down to, right? Like I said, when you have a meeting, you know that your reports don't talk in public. You got You've had 10 meetings that haven't spoken, right? They sit there quietly. For you to say, why don't you talk? And then I'll tell you, I don't like to talk in public. And then you say, right, okay, how can we get your views? I'll say to you, I like to write stuff down. Or if you ask me anything you got to say on this, that's how you do it. That's called a relationship, because that's you knowing the people you work with, and then you have a personal relationship with them. Give them the mic when they want it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just make sure.
It's always about the relations that you build with the people, and I will say that now that Annie says that, it's sometimes people wouldn't say. I have leaders that will ask, "Is there anything to share? Any questions? Any worries?" And people wouldn't say anything there. So I will say the leader can also add, if you don't feel comfortable sharing in the meeting, always the door is open for you to come and share, right? Or if you have any worry, or an email if you don't feel comfortable knocking at my door. But always let know the people that you are open to hear them, that you sense that there may be something, that is gonna make them worry about changes or things that are happening, so that they can let you know. And I have many leaders like that will give you that cue that you can come and share all your worries with them. And so always have that open channel to talk, is what I will say is the only way that we know what's going on.
I love it. It's like, it doesn't even matter if it's your personal life, if it's your professional life, if you're immigrant, if you're not, like everything for just in life, every aspect, it boils down to communication.
Yeah, communication is really, the key is very important, and that's why we are encouraging today, to use your voice. Is very important. Understanding the power of your own voice, because if I can continue with it, thank you, Michelle. I do appreciate your participation always, because it makes us share more and more, and it's very important. And I was saying, every time that we stay silent, talking about the importance of using the power of your voice, is that if we stay silent, we miss opportunities to claim our space, to share the unique perspectives that we have, and to make an impact. As we were saying, if somebody gives you the chance to speak, say something that you have been thinking about, share something, is what we want to encourage the people to do. Just if it's so terrifying for you, just do mental exercises. Imagine yourself in a meeting where you are confidently sharing your ideas, seeing heads nodding in agreement with the teammates, with what you are saying, and they writing your suggestions, and picture that your boss says, great idea, let's implement it. So just have these mental visions that help you, to encourage you to, when it's the moment, just prepare yourself and say something. And I remember many people will say, when there is a big meeting, always try to ask a question. Every time you do that, it's training you to be more confident. And the feeling after you do it and you get the attention of the people is really rewarding.
Every time I do my meetings and we're doing the hosting of them, what I actually I prefer my meetings to start out with some form of like a, not long or anything or extensive, but like an icebreaker game, just something that actually facilitates the space to off rip. We're starting with engagement with each other.
Yeah, that is also something great to do. Activities with the groups where people start just feeling more connected to others, like in a fun environment, and breaking the ice is a good way also dynamic to change it.
And I found it's better to feed them first and then begin the meeting. So we do the icebreaker and lunch, and then we go into the meeting. And I think it gives everybody, it takes 20, 30 minutes of the, so that's the first time. But I think it gets everybody just laxed, and it's not like walking into the boardroom, shutting the doors, sitting down and stiff, if that makes sense. I feel that the communication and the vulnerability for the openness comes when everybody's comfortable.
Yes.
Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, open communication, Sandra, like how you were talking about your problems, your things, your problems you face as an immigrant. You know, it all starts with communication. And to help someone, um, you have to heed, you have to be an active listener. Um, this is how I started here on the LinkedIn. I started with audio events, listening, Annie Hussein, Leslie Flower, so many people here. And then working on my skill sets. You know, uh, there was a question, Michelle, when you asked Sandra, that how do you manage teams? Um, see, when you know that you have a diverse teams, and you can do one-on-one sessions, and now AI is also helping a lot. AI is also building cultures, team cultures. And one of the ways how do I keep myself updated is with LinkedIn Learning. That's free, absolutely free. So you can have some knowledge from there as well about different things, about different like how we can upskill ourselves. So when I'm doing nothing, what I do, I just open up LinkedIn Learning and keep myself, so it is one of the good way, like when you want to make some good teams around you, it starts with communication. Absolutely, it starts with communication and also active listening.
I think I agree though. The second one of that continuing education, like constantly encouraging your team to continue learning and keeping, current with events and things. So but it's still everything is that communication.
See, we are living in a world where where there are rollouts after rollouts, updates after updates, and technology is like shifting uh, continuously. I mean, something you have learned yesterday, today they have given you a new rollout to update yourself, and to cope up with this mechanism of you have to be a continuous, lifelong, continuous learning. So, and
Sandra,
it
have
all
you
starts with.
noticed like sorry, I thought you were done. I thought you was done. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not done, but you can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, what it was to piggyback what you were saying is like, since coming that transition, and then to where you are today, like, how he was that. Have you seen a lot of change and growth, like in that phase?
Say again.
So, like, I was asking Sandra, so since coming and then to today, like looking back, the progression or the like had the growth, or what has she seen with speaking her voice, how has it changed and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the question. Yes, definitely has been a huge change. I was always very quiet. And now I think that one of the difference that make me be able to use my voice is to overcome the fact that I was always trying to speak a better English to be able to talk. That was the story in my head. So I will never feel free to share a lot or to participate a lot. But it was just this perfectionism in me that wanted to improve, that I wanted to impress. Honestly, to be honest, is to impress. But today, I just don't go by. I learned something from this lady. She wrote this book, Lean In. Um, I can't remember her name right now. She used to be the CEO of Facebook. Cheryl, I think is her name. And she said in her book that I read a while ago when it just came out, she said, it's better done, even if it's not good, something along those lines is better done than nothing or something like that, right? Even if it's not
It's
perfect.
better done than perfect, right? It's better
Yeah,
done.
yeah. Thank you. It's better done than perfect. And I think that really that message got deeper in my in my unconscious mind, and I start thinking that way. It's better done than perfect. And so I started just applying that um, to the things I wanted to do, and it didn't happen overnight. I was still, you know, trying to overcome the fact that I wanted to, and I still sometimes do in some things. I work way too long hours to try to perfect something, and I had to come back and as what I'm doing this is just it's good now, it's good. Just yeah, but yeah, it's
So
it,
life keep teaching us lessons, and we keep on learning and learning and learning. Yes, Sandra?
Oh, yes, all the time. And that's the beauty of life, that it's always learning to master ourselves. It's learning about ourselves. Yeah.
I think
Um,
that the learning is what gives you confidence, right? And I think the ability to, when I was a kid, I think not the story, advice was simply, if you want to get anywhere in this society, you're gonna have to work harder than anyone else. Because you're black and you're young, they're just not gonna take you seriously, right? Until you actually prove that you're above all of and the only way to do that is keep learning, Zara. Like keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. Find a way to be better, to stand out. Find a way.
Can I draw on something you just said though?
What's that?
So, and this is something like when I'm working, with different teams and I try to elaborate to them. Here in the States, they try to make that the racial thing a thing. And they think that it's only confined to here. And what you just said goes to prove that is a global issue.
It is. It really, really, it is. My son is 15. He has the same message. You have to work extra hard. I imagine it's the same. Women have a similar issue. I'm saying they have, there's discrimination all around, right? But say the only way that we're gonna stand out is by creating real solutions, being better than others. And the only way to get there, Zara, is through education, learning. Learn, create some more, learn some more, make some mistakes, try things. As Sandra said, just do things, learn how to do things. Not perfectly necessarily, just create something different. Be you, do you, do things your way is what I always say. You hear me say it
that's
all.
very important. Yeah. Yeah. The one thing also, going back to Michelle, is that it's not only the overcoming the perfectionism, because I think the perfectionism has to do also with trying to impress other people and being very worried about what people think.
You have to, for me, it's like, I got to be better than I was yesterday. That's my competition.
That's it. Yeah, that's the mindset. As
Exactly.
soon as better than you were yesterday, that's the only thing that matters, right?
Yeah.
To improve every day.
And be kind. Like, you gotta be kind. It's like.
Let me welcome Jeremy. Jeremy, we see you. Thank you for being here. Glad you're loving the conversation. Of course. Belinda, so I mentioned you earlier. Lois, of course, I see you too. Look, Alexis as well, if any of you want to come on stage, feel free. Say that. Natalie, if you want to come on stage, don't be shy. You can turn your camera off. But literally, if you want to come on stage, then click on the StreamYard link I've just posted and come and share some of your thoughts. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to see you. We don't really need to see you, right? As long as we can hear you, I'm happy with
See,
that.
that's the first time me and it's been whole year around, like 18 months. Me and Annie was like, okay, we are going to get on call on Monday, on Tuesday. And it's been like whole 18 months now. And this is the first time we are like streaming, So it's a great honor for me. It's a great honor.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I like the medium. I like being able to see people. I think there's more to it than audio is good because more people want to interact. But I think video is good because you actually see what you can. I can see you. You can see me, right? And there's more information being communicated than just through our words. That's what I like about this medium.
They say maybe the first podcast will not be right. Maybe the first time you're going to talk on the stage, it will not. You will not be perfect. The first podcast, the first production, the first any AI experiment, anything.
I think we need to learn. Sandra, I'll keep quiet.
Yeah, let's share that. Annie and I were, before the event started, we were like, he was telling me how I'm gonna get there. I couldn't even find how do I join you? And it was like I was getting nervous, like, oh my God, we are on now, and I can't even join you. But it's good. After the fact, you just laugh about those things, right? So that's the important thing. Just do things, learn and grow, and have fun with it.
Yes.
We forget to have fun because we worry about making it perfect. So I say perfection is just not my thing anymore. I'm glad it's not because that's how I am able to be myself. And no human is perfect. So why we want to be perfect? It's beautiful how imperfect we are, and we're here sharing with everyone who we are. No something that wants to impress people with things that are not real. And with that, I want to go back to the topic because I see that we have a little bit to cover, but I wanted to move now to
Hold on, Sandra. Are you trying to make sure you finish your presentation, what you had prepared? It's
no.
not gonna look, I don't know. I love the interaction. I love that this we're on stage. I love the fact that we can talk rather than we just talk, But I appreciate that you've done the work.
I have a whole other question, so I'm just sitting here like, okay.
Let Sandra finish first, and then you bring your question.
Yeah, it's just a few things. So now what I have here is I wanted to share, the immigrant fakes units, like Michelle was saying before, the challenges that we have is the cultural conditioning that many of we come from backgrounds that have different values. For example, in my background, humility is something that is a value for us, and then that value really create struggles for me to be able to self-promote, right? To speak about my work, to speak about what I'm doing. It was something that I just couldn't make it happen. And now I'm here in LinkedIn sharing about my book, right? So that is the transformation. I had to work myself about this belief in humility was, a high value for me. Just be humble. It's a beautiful thing, right? Be humble.
Yes.
And I think that humility is I'm not saying it's not a beautiful thing. I can appreciate when people, especially when people that have achieved a lot and they show that humility, then I think in that case it's a beautiful thing. But when your humility is becoming a barrier for you to show the things that and to show who you are, because you believe that you just been, humble, then in that case is harming you. and is in that case is not, it's not a great thing. The other challenges that is, very common, the language barrier. Speaking a second language can feel intimidating. Even when we have the right words, we always feel, if we haven't overcome that, we feel that, the way we sound, the pronunciations, all of these things keep us quiet, not wanting to share our ideas. Those are the challenges, and fear of rejection or conflict. Like I said before, the worry of being misunderstood or dismissed often keep people silent. But the truth is that our voices carry a unique perspective and powerful stories that we can transform, with which we can transform workplaces and communities. Sharing, I have learned here in LinkedIn to do that when and it has been because I have been in rooms where people sharing these amazing, journeys, and you realize it's the same as yours, but they are there sharing it. It's important, and you feel like yours is not, right? That's when you keep quiet and thinking, who has interest in this story? Well, many people resonate with your story, so it is important for you to share. And the other thing that I want to hear to share is about what and using your voice. Self-advocacy is something vital for immigrants to use your voice, and to speak about things that are important to you. And that's something that immigrants, it needs to be more empowered to be able to speak your truth, to
I can understand.
respect.
We can understand.
Sorry,
Yes.
go ahead.
I mean, we can understand, like, being an immigrant when you go to some new country, and then the biggest barrier is the language. And to prove yourself, you first have to learn that language, and then you have to start communicating with the municipal governments or organizations or communities to attach yourself with the people around you, so we can truly understand, Sandra, what you have been through. And that's the beauty of you. See, your personality is now developing. You have now so many friends who can tell you, who can collaborate with you, who can take you up, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, and when you advocate for yourself, you claim your worth, show the world that the value of your unique experiences that you had, like you just Zara was sharing. When you learn to use your voice, when you learn your language, the language, you start sharing your unique experiences, claiming your worth, and setting clear boundaries is another part of self-advocacy. Create a space for mutual respect and fairness. Build confidence. Each time that you use your voice, you are strengthened your voice, overcoming challenges. Um, and so, yeah, self-advocacy is something that in the community, in the professional immigrant community, is something that needs a lot of work, because we are afraid to speak. We are afraid to ask for the things that we want, for the
I think, I
change.
think, I think, Sandra, it's not about you're afraid to speak. It's about maybe that barrier, the language barrier, maybe because you have so much to talk, but maybe because,
Being heard.
yes, being heard.
But
And
all, it
now if
goes
I'm now
right.
if
It
I'm
goes
telling
all
you that
to
we
the
have to say everything in Espanol, for example, the Professora Sandra has to say everything in Espanol. I'm sure that you're going to rock it off. You're going to take all the chairs off because you have so much to say.
Yeah, I said that it all comes to the mindset at those stories that we have in our head. When it comes to self-advocacy, it really, you have to believe in your own value, to push you to speak your truth. Because when you don't believe in your own value, that's when you stay quiet. You don't believe that they're gonna listen or they're going to give you what you're asking for. So I think that it comes all to the beliefs that you have of yourself, to be able to speak up, to give you the power to use that voice. Is an internal work that we need to do, because once you are there, when you believe that you are valuable, then you cannot stay quiet because you know your value. You can't just do that anymore. You know that it's just not in agreement with you and with your highest, values, to stay quiet.
Yeah, so I like Tom's view. I think no, I think if you've got something to say, it almost doesn't matter how you say it. I think that, which I think ties in what you're saying as well, Sandra. Where if we believe that what we're saying is right, if we believe what we're saying is a solution, even if we say it badly, it doesn't matter. They'll still people will still understand. But this is a lesson that I think we learn in hindsight. At the moment, in a moment in time, we're thinking no one's going to hear me because I can't say well. I can't say a word in Espanol. I really, I say a few words, maybe three, right? Cerveza is one of them. I learned that very well, right? So, but other than that, I think being authentic, being honest to you, being true to yourself, and yeah, being humble, of course. Who wants to show off, right? So people will tend to listen, however you say it. You see what they say in broken English, or are you with me? I truly believe that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's I've always found if I say when I know the answer, then it's my duty to say it, to get it across somehow. That's what I'm trying to say, Sandra. So a few decent comments. I don't who's LinkedIn user, could be Lois, could be someone else. Literally, humility. I don't think humility is meant to deny our accomplishments, but to not confuse our achievements. I think you can be proud of what you've achieved, right? You can stand up for. You can believe in you can give yourself credibility, if that makes sense, right? And then when you give yourself that credibility, I think of course you can speak up for yourself much better, right? But it comes back to what you're saying, Sandra. So believe in yourself first of all.
Yeah, I was reading the message here, and I agree with that. Yeah, we shouldn't be afraid of share our achievements, right? Which is the struggle or the challenges that many of us struggle with. Being afraid to share, to be perceived as a
a show
something
off,
that we're not trying.
show off, power hungry, you know, weirdo. Want to be seen as a decent person, right? And then that's just being I think that as LinkedIn users, as Lois is saying, I think it's a fine balance between being self-confident and being a show-off. I think is knowing where that balance is. That's the challenge, right?
Yeah. Anyway, just to summarize, because I think self-advocacy is a very important topic in this and today, what we're talking today about using the voice. Self-advocacy is just is going to when you self-advocate, you are going to claim your worth, You are going to set boundaries. You are going to unlock opportunities. You're going to build confidence and overcome your challenges. So all of these are great things that if you start using your voice, they're going to start changing for you, helping you to become more confident. Recognize your worth, understand that the value that you have and your skill and experience and perspectives are valuable in the places that you enter. Just share with the people. Practice assertive communication. Use always the I statement. Express your needs clearly and respectfully. Um, uh, and Michelle was talking at the beginning about educating yourself will be one of the things at the beginning. Learn, the culture, learn the norms and your environment, because that knowledge is power for you to know how to move in that environment, and how to use your voice in a way that is going to be welcome, in a respectful way. Um, and any you want to share here? I need a second.
Yeah, please. Turn your camera off. If you need a second, you feel free. You keep your camera on if you want. Look.
Okay, just
God, I think I've enjoyed the event, and I thank you all for everyone who's joined us. I truly mean that.
I'm gonna ask my question though, Annie, so we can ask it when she comes back.
The question is still pending.
What's your question?
My question's still pending.
Oh, that one. That one.
So it's like I really want to stay, aligned with her topic of like the immigration and the voice and the silencing. And I wanted to shift the dynamics. So like when I'm building the physical work environment, right? So now we're taking it beyond just, this is the boss and employee, the relationship. When I'm constructing my physical building,
Yeah.
What would things be on the cultural side of it in designing the said building to make everybody comfortable? Like, are there because I know that there's some that certain meals you don't eat in certain places, and there's all cultures have many different things around meals and everything. Some cultures have prayers at specific times. So like how can we make these work environments where they're not doing remote work and they're in person to make them feel more comfortable to display who they authentically are?
I asked them, right?
Well, I just
Ask them. That's what you can do. Ask them. And
she just went on break. That's why I was. We just got to where I could ask it, but I was asking you and Zahar while we were waiting.
So, maybe some part of me thinks,
yeah,
we can't accommodate everything. Look, I guess there comes a time when, as an employer, I will say to you, look, you are in the country. This is how we do things around here. Now, I say we'll try and be accommodating. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to accommodate everyone. Because if you want, I
don't think I mean it like accommodating everybody in my mind. So like, I build my business model on a global concept.
Yeah.
And so my intent when I'm building is that my model is going to work regardless of the location I am in the world. So for me, my design is globally inclusive. So it's like I want to make sure that when I'm building the workplaces, physical locations, you're not going to meet everybody's needs. We know, but you can do things to be more inclusive or provide more space, or you can be the next rule breaker going against status quo and doing something different.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I wonder what your thoughts is, Sandra. If you take something like religion, you mentioned prayer spaces.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I know that I'm going to be accused of being anti-Christian, anti-Catholic, anti-Hindu, anti. Are you with me?
Well, for me, it's not about per se. What I'm saying is, when I'm building my business company walls for work, is there a way we can incorporate a prayer room? It don't gotta be a specific religion. Is there a way when you're in the lunchroom that this goes against your cultural beliefs? In your home, this would never be near the kitchen, but in most workplaces, this is. Or what could I do when I'm building the actual building to be more culturally aware and inclusive? Like sometimes it could be the littlest thing you can add. You can add a sensory room for somebody that's neurodivergent with, to go calm down.
I hear what you look. I can hear exactly what you're saying. I said I can be like Google. I give them playroom, give them hammocks, right? Are you a games room? No, Michelle. The law says I must give them these things. Accessibility.
A decent workplace space.
A workplace to work, right? If I want to go the extra mile, fine. But I'm well aware the reason I don't go the extra mile is because I know there's too many individual differences to cater for. I would love someone to come and tell me otherwise, really. Welcome, Ari. We see you, and now we hear you. If you want to come on stage, Ari, please feel free. I will share the StreamYard link in the comments. Just click on the link, come in the studio. You don't have to turn your camera on. I mean, that's a long comment, Ari. Come and tell us what it is.
I can't even.
Yes, I love to
hear it.
Okay. I'm trying to read Ari. If you want to come on stage, that's much easier to have a conversation rather than we try and decode what you're saying and then get it all wrong. Sandra, what's your thoughts now on Michelle's big question?
I said she needs to have first she has a big heart. She wants to accommodate everybody, every culture. So big heart, but it's hard to, make happy everyone. But, as long as you have the standard things and that everybody, feel comfortable. Companies, they have their diversity and inclusion team, and they make sure they celebrate each one of the communities that are part of the organization, so that everybody feels that they matter, right? Their cultural beliefs and celebrations. So start by celebrating what is important for them in their special day. That is good, and always listening to like I said, communication. What do they want, right? And if it's possible to do it for you, but it's all about communication. And also companies also have their own objectives too, that they have to match with the teams and what the company also companies are looking for too. So it's working together. That is a win-win for everyone, is what I said. What I say.
I hear you. I'm with you. Welcome, Lisa, our menopause dietitian and expert. I'm glad you're here. Lisa's not feeling very well today, but you're here.
Another rebel sister.
I got your rebel with a cause book and I open one of my tabs, right? I got two Kindle tabs open. I have to get reading your anthologies. So I've started. I just need to read some more chapters. Okay, now thank you, everyone. Look, this is what LinkedIn Live looks like.
It was a lot of fun.
Wait, is this big new change everybody's been talking about?
Yes, this is it.
I've been doing this since the beginning, so I'm not even.
I know it's not new, but that's what I was saying at the beginning. That you have been doing this all the time, so this is just familiar, and you are way ahead of us.
Go, Michelle. Sorry, go on.
So nothing's changed.
No, for me, the big change is I want people on stage. So what we could do, Sandra, is pack the stage full of people. We'd say, right, all four of us are co-hosts. That's one model, right? Was I would rather say no, we're gonna keep a very small hosting team, me and the co-host, for example, maybe one more. But I want to bring the audience up the way within audio rooms. I want to bring the audience up to come and share their thoughts rather than type in long comments. Ari, hint. Come on stage. Come on stage.
I appreciate the comments too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, thank you for the participation. And I want, we are almost at 5, so I just want to give the closing of the topic. And I appreciate everybody that's been here. It's been fun. It hasn't been perfect. That's the first time, but it has been great. So, closing the topic, your voice is your legacy. As an immigrant, our journeys are defined by courage, resilience, and the drive to succeed. Using your voice isn't just an act of self-empowerment. It's a way to leave your mark, to influence change, and to inspire others. Speaking up with confidence isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about standing firm in who you are and what you want to bring to the table, right? And the last thing I want to say, in my upcoming book, Unmuting Myself, A Voice Silenced by Doubt, Raised to Inspire, I share more stories of overcoming fear and doubt to find my voice. And this is just not my story. It is a shared journey of resilience and growth for all of us that I want you to have when it comes out.
When is it coming? Guess
Annie, we haven't decided the day, but it's December or the latest is in January.
Okay. Congratulations.
Right, Annie?
Right. We can put words in your mouth, Annie.
As soon as I get the manuscript, I will do my thing. I'll get the book layout done and publish the book. I promise you, I'll do it in a hurry. I'll do it as quick as I can. Basically, give me a week and I'll get the book turned around. And then it's a process, right? We have to go through proofing and buying the proof copy and then editing that and then finalizing the book. So maybe a 2 or 3 week process is what we need really. So as soon as Sandra gets the book to me, I can do my thing, and then I get it back to Sandra. As soon as she does her bit, then we're away. Like Sandra said, January is probably the latest the book will come out. But of course, your course, Sandra, your course your service that you created, you're going to mention it very briefly.
I start my new career path now. I am a personal development coach and a master NLP and hypnotherapist practitioner. And building my programs and working with some people already that is helping me to see what we need in these programs. And I'm super excited to be sharing all of this at the beginning of the year. And I also want to say that anybody that want to reach out with me that was today in the event, I want to give a free section to speak and see what we can do together. That will be great. So it's there for free for whoever wants to use it. I think the 2 first people that reach out to me, we can work and see some tools, amazing tools that I have learned that has been super helpful for my transformation.
Superb, excellent. That's a great offer. So thank you. Look, Ari, don't be a hater. Come on now. I'm lazy. Make read stuff. But Ari, your comment is up. We get your comments. I think it's important to say, maybe in response to your question, Michelle, I think every immigrant is different.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the point Ari's been at. We've all got different stories, different cultures, different baggage, maybe different beliefs sometimes. So of course, the
This is why
issue.
I ask these questions though, because I know building a global business model, I need to extract this information from as many different cultures and walks of life as I can, because it's not been done before. It's not like there's data
He's
for me
making
to
a
go
global
reference.
village. He's making a global village, so that's why.
Let's connect, Michelle. Let's connect and let's brainstorm.
We're already connected. What are we talking about?
Well, and meet is what Sandra's saying. Let's meet and have a coffee chat, and share some ideas. Thank you,
We haven't
Ari.
done the first one. I have connected with many people in LinkedIn. With Michelle, I had it in mind a while ago, and I know you have been really busy doing amazing projects. But let's make
And
it
there was a
happen.
moment so apparently somebody reported my LinkedIn as fake, and they took it. Yeah, they took it. I lost access. It was for like 2-3 days. I had no access. So then when I got access back, I had no following no more. All my followers are gone, so that's rebuilding. And I think it dropped probably like half of my connections. Like Tamrat, I just see him right there. He sent me a connection request. Like, you unconnected? I'm like, what are you talking? And then it dawned on me like to go look, because I had just got my account back. So if we were connected, Sandra, and it's not there, that was not me. Like my connections, there's 125. Period. Like it's
125. Okay, that's a bit harsh. Okay. So you two connect and then have the meeting and arrange a coffee chat. If I'm not connected to you, Michelle, let me know.
We're gonna rent the perfect company.
Michelle, you have to start sending connection requests again.
No, I know that we'll get back to that once I get through this little area of life I'm in.
Because I'm also working on a project named Otto's Learning Methodology, where we celebrate the diversity. And
I don't not connect. I gotta be intentional with how much energy is where with how much I have going on, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, maybe that's a blessing that you've got now. With the way what LinkedIn's done to you, where now you can choose your connections. So so many people have connections that just, of course, they're connected to try to carry you.
It was a way to clean up your connections.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people.
I've never had a lot of connections. Yeah.
A lot of people connect just to try and sell you something, and then when you don't buy, they're just there. They're just there. They're in your connection list forever.
For why? Right.
They don't engage. They don't do anything. They're not helpful. You can't help them. What's the point of that, right?
I do not keep the dead weight.
Tom, thank you for all your amazing comments. I love. We do like the comments. Of course, I'd rather hear you on stage. Of course, right? Tom, I'm glad you're here. Thank you, everyone. Of course, anyone who was
so far 49 comments, right? There are 49 comments and 29 likes so far.
Tamrat, I see you as well. Thank you. That's the beauty of this new medium. And that people who are not here can go and watch a replay. That's good. I think that's a good thing, right? LinkedIn, we have to send DMs, so you never see the messages have been scattered.
Man, you gotta send me a WhatsApp or a text. I don't even get social media DMs.
Really? Wow. That's why we're LinkedIn problem.
No, it's a Michelle shut off settings. Like texting, the WhatsApp, like that direct communication is how I prefer to operate.
Yeah, so hopefully, everyone's seen, more people have seen how this LinkedIn life can work. And that's my aim to just show people how it can work, and that there's no need to panic the way people are so going on.
Right, this is amazing. I ain't got to do nothing different.
Please, everyone, do notice Michelle's chickens or ducks on her wall.
My ducks.
It's one of my pride. It's her pride and joy.
I love this picture. I'm gonna always be that odd duck out and like the
I
monkey.
told her don't buy it, but she insisted on buying it and showing it to the world. No, they're there, right?
I love it. I love my ducks, my little ducks. That's me.
She really
right
does.
there.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Annie, Michelle.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, Sandra, thank you, because my takeaway for today, like when I'm doing my models and everything, is that I definitely want to ensure that I am including a way to make not just leadership, but all employees under the business model have the access to becoming multilingual. Because like obviously communication is that's the baseline of what underlies everything. But from what I have been learning is that like we need to be multilingual to be truly inclusive. So like I do want to thank you, because like that will be my takeaway, is to ensure that there's a way that is incorporated to just make sure resources are available. If you can't make someone want to learn another language, but I can at least make sure I'm getting the resources to give it the opportunity. So thank you, and thank you, Annie, for allowing me to be
the
on
idea
stage
is good.
today.
I mean, language is hard to learn, but at least it, help with the common language is the English, so that they can become better at that one. So it's also a good a way to go. Just support that they are continuously learning and practicing, and put them on the spot to talk.
And I don't even just necessarily
talk
mean
to
teaching
you,
the
so that
immigrant English. It's me learning Japanese, or it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
It's exchange of languages.
Yeah, the language, I find myself, if we talk about language are hard to learn. And it's funny that I believe that English is easier, even with the struggles with the pronunciations, because it's very different from my first language. But English is actually, in my opinion, the easiest to learn. If you ask me, if you try to learn, I don't know, Japanese or Chinese or
I don't know.
French.
English is
or
hard, because English, it sounds like
German.
I guess we've been learning English we've always been speaking English forever in school, even like when we're kids at school. That's why it sounds easier to me.
If I'm wrong, I don't know.
There's
But
so much realism. There's so many ways I write. Now, so just take the word "right." It can mean anything, and thought. I mean, the way we spell stuff is crazy. The way the way things mean more than one thing is very crazy. And I'm sure it's the same in some other languages, but I'm sorry, in English is not easy to learn. If you want to learn it and feel confident that you're fluent.
American English.
Maybe.
I love it, and I think even if it's not perfect, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's easier than other language. Sounds like they're very hard to learn, but maybe they're not once you start studying it, right?
How many languages do you speak, Sandra?
I speak two languages. I want to learn Portuguese because it's a little similar to Spanish. And Italian, I was learning a little bit. My best friend was an Italian immigrant too. She was born in Italy and raised there. Learned a little bit from her, but never really practiced. She's not here anymore, so I never practice again.
Do you know, Sandra? Do you know about Catalan?
No.
Is that a different language? Espanol. I guess I just assume. Is it Spanish?
Yeah, it's different than Espanol. I mean, the Catalonia province in Spain, so they speak Catalan. So even in Spain, they have different languages.
Yeah. Mine is Colombian is Spanish. Because Colombians, they have a special Spanish. I know every country in Latin America, they have
different dialects,
special words. No dialects, but it's still Spanish. It's just they call it.
like each their own little,
Yeah, the words. Yeah.
Variations. My friends, we must go. We've done well. We've done beautifully well.
Yeah,
Sandra, you're a star. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
for
everyone.
So
This
excited
was
for your
fun.
book.
Yeah. Thank you, Annie and Michelle and Sarah. It was wonderful that you were
let's
here on stage with us.
let's connect and then let's make more friends. You know, Michelle, connect with everyone. I would love to know what it looks like on your screen, but I'll soon find out when I go to someone else's event when I.
Well, our next meeting, I will just screen share with you. I'm more
Excellent. Look, I'm gonna play our outro song. We know we have these things. So thank you. You know, join us again, of course, in a couple of weeks' time. But more importantly, come to this room tomorrow. We will talk about transformation in 2024. I think everyone here has a story to tell. Those in the comments, of course. I think you all do too. You know, let's put enough in the pot for people to learn from, each other to learn from. The same thing, right? Thank you so much, everyone. I say bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
June.
Bye-bye.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
Excellent. There you go, Sandra. Hold on.
Oh my God. I was even lost